In the early days of the reign of King Solomon, he faced a task both daunting and divine: to lead the nation of Israel, God's chosen people. He was young, untested, and burdened with the legacy of his father, King David, whose reign was marked by courage and devotion to God. But Solomon's heart was set on pleasing the Lord. Seeking guidance and strength, he journeyed to Gibeon, a place of worship and sacrifice, where he would have a life-changing encounter with God. What followed was not only a display of Solomon's devotion, but the beginning of a legacy defined by divine wisdom and extraordinary insight. Here is the account of the wisdom of Solomon, a moment that revealed God's hand in his leadership and left a nation in awe. 1 Kings 3:4-28. And so it begins. Solomon, the young king of Israel, sought to honor the Lord. Aware of the great responsibility resting on his shoulders, he traveled to Gibeon, a prominent high place, to offer sacrifices to God. There, Solomon displayed his devotion by presenting 1,000 burnt offerings on the altar, a grand act of worship. That night, while Solomon rested in Gibeon, the Lord appeared to him in a dream. God spoke, saying,
"Ask for whatever you want me to give you."
Solomon, humbled by the divine encounter, replied, "You have shown great kindness to my father David, and now you have made me king in his place. But I am only a young man, and I lack experience in leading your chosen people, a great and numerous nation. Therefore, give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to rule this great people of yours?" The Lord was pleased with Solomon's request. He said,
"Since you have asked for wisdom and not for long life, wealth, or the death of your enemies, I will grant your request. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there has never been anyone like you, nor will there ever be. Moreover, I will give you what you have not asked for, wealth and honor, so that in your lifetime you will have no equal among kings. And if you walk in obedience to me and keep my commands as your father David did, I will give you a long life."
When Solomon awoke, he realized it had been a dream, yet he knew it was a divine encounter. Filled with gratitude, he returned to Jerusalem, stood before the Ark of the Covenant, and offered burnt offerings and fellowship offerings to the Lord. Not long after, Solomon's wisdom was put to the test. 2 women came before the king, bringing a dispute that had no easy solution. Both were mothers who lived in the same house, and both had recently given birth to sons. However, one of the women claimed that during the night, the other's baby had died, and that she had switched the dead child with the living one. The second woman denied this, insisting,
"O king, the living child is mine, and the dead one is hers."
With no witnesses or evidence, the matter seemed impossible to resolve. But Solomon, inspired by divine wisdom, devised a test. He called for a sword and declared, "Cut the living child in 2 and give half to each woman." At once, the first woman cried out in anguish,
"No, my lord, give her the child. Do not kill him."
But the second woman coldly replied,
"Neither of us shall have him. Cut him in 2.
Solomon, seeing the true mother's compassion, declared, "Do not harm the child. Give him to the first woman. She is his mother." Word of this judgment spread throughout Israel, and the people marveled at their king. They recognized that God had blessed Solomon with unparalleled wisdom to lead and administer justice. In conclusion, the account of Solomon's wisdom teaches us that true leadership is rooted in humility, selflessness, and a deep reliance on God's guidance. By choosing wisdom over personal gain, Solomon exemplifies the importance of serving others with discernment and compassion. His judgment in the case of the 2 women further illustrates the balance between justice and mercy. showing that wisdom involves not only making fair decisions, but also understanding human nature. Ultimately, Solomon's example calls us to seek divine wisdom in all areas of our lives, trusting that it will lead us to make righteous and compassionate choices that honor God and benefit those around us.